Taurus. Hey, what's going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. I am Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to be looking at the collective energy for you for the next couple of weeks. So welcome in. I hope you're doing well. I hope all is well in your world. We just entered Aries season, so there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of momentum, and Aries rules the first house, the house of self. It's a really good time to focus on ourselves, who we are, what we want, upgrade, certain aspects that maybe have gone to the wayside, etc. These readings are general, right? So just use your discernment on the messages. I'd like to start off with a energy cleansing, just removing any blocks, obstacles that might be in our way. It's also a really good time to set intention. If there's a specific situation or insight you need for your own life, now is the best time to ask the question. Ask Spirit, Universe, God, whatever you ascribe to. We'll start with this cleansing and then we'll get into the overarching energy for the next couple weeks and the tarot. All right, let's get going. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that does not serve the highest and best for our heart, our mind, our soul. Remove any doubt, fear, insecurity, anxiety, lack of worth, anger, frustration. Help make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love. Amen. All right, Taurus, let's see what's going on. So like I said, these are collective readings. They're for the next 2 weeks. We're in Aries season right now. Divine inspiration. So something really needs your attention, something that but you're not really sure. I feel like you don't really want to go down that road quite yet. There's something about you that's feeling a little bit hesitant, right? Like, the old way is not working, or the way things are happening right now is not working. So you need that new potential, new inspiration to come through. But there is a little bit of fear around it for some reason, Taurus. Let's get into it. But remember, Aries season is the season of self. So it's tuning into what your needs and wants are, right? Not necessarily. So often we get entrapped into other people's opinions, perspectives, how we should live, etc. And it's really hard to listen to our own internal voice when we are listening to everyone else's, right? So this is that practice of, yes, I love this card for you, finding stability and direction. And part of the way, I should say, it's great to listen to other people's perspective. Sometimes it brings, a new idea, a new understanding into the situation. But there's also that value of going back within and reflecting on what your heart is telling you. You need more stability right now is what I'm hearing. And I think that that's part of where that fear is coming into play, right? It's the fear of the unknown, right? It's like, again, we don't like where we're at right now, but it also takes work. It takes intention to bring ourselves out of that. And sometimes we do have to let go of people, places, and things that are destabilizing us, right? We might be in an unhealthy relationship, a toxic environment, working too much, stressing too much, whatever it may be. Spirit's really asking you to find a little bit more balance. It's going to give you clarity as to how to deal with this situation moving forward. Yeah, so waning crescent, right? So things are ending. We're seeing this collectively a lot as Pluto has been moving into Aquarius, which I should say, so during these next 2 weeks, we'll have the full moon in a couple days, the 25th of March. full moon. I believe it's a lunar eclipse in Libra. I will upload a video on that, to be continued, or yeah, stay tuned, right? But so we are, ironically or not, we are in the waning phase, and the waning crescent specifically. So this is the time of releasing, of letting go. It is also understood as the dark moon, right? As the moon loses its illumination with the new moon, it is that time of peace and calm and really connecting with your internal voice and saying, you know, is this really working for me? Where are the changes and adjustments that I need to be made? Definitely check out the spring equinox video I just did, because it is a lot about rebirth and renewal and kind of setting intentions for more abundance, more fertility in our life. Yeah, I love this. It does show that you're going to have clarity around this as things move forward. But the key right now is to be able to balance yourself, number one, to go within, listen to what your heart is saying, so you can have that clarity. And then we got the waxing gibbous. So what I love about that for you, Taurus, is it's talking a lot about how you are building up towards your manifestations. The waxing gibbous is like as the moon gets bigger. Full moon is all about, or more illuminated, I should say. It's always the same size, guys, right? But the full moon is when we bring in those manifestations, when we kind of see, you know, the product of the work that we have put in. And basically this is saying you're not quite there yet. It's not a good, bad, right, or wrong. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer by saying that. But there's just a little, I'm hearing just like restabilizing. I feel like maybe you have been very busy. You've had a lot on your plate, kind of, but it's distracted energies. Yes, it might feel like this is something I need to do or handle or, you know, pay attention to, etc. But I am hearing there's some stuff, right? Okay, so we're getting Emperor energy come up. That's Aries energy. You could be dealing with an Aries. This is also the strong masculine principle. So I'm hearing this as partnership, relationship, someone that you do deal with on the regular, I should say. It doesn't even have to be day to day. But you know, it's reassessing, reevaluating this relationship with that individual. The Emperor can be very cold and rigid and stubborn. And so we really have to kind of weigh out the value. Is it worth my time and energy? I love that saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Right? I think it's pretty accurate, right, for how we need to look at people, places, and things, situations we put ourselves in our life. Yeah, especially as it relates to our happiness and fulfillment. You coming out as the Empress is a very beautiful energy. The Empress, Taurus does rule the Empress in the tarot deck, which is really powerful. You know, you are stepping into your power is what I hear. And obviously the Emperor and the Empress are divine counterparts. So again, confirming that partnership, that relationship to whatever capacity. It could be in business, it could be love, it could be a close friend, family member, etc. Everyone's situation is going to be different, right? Because these are collective readings. But yeah, just take what resonates. Yeah. So you're really looking at things with how can I find more happiness? How can I find more abundance? You're not feeling very happy right now. It's not that life is horrible, hopefully, for most of you is what I'm hearing. We're all going through a lot. There's a lot coming up for us with Pluto moving into Aquarius. We just finished out Pisces season. There's been a lot of emotional water energy in the air, so it's just very overwhelming. Neptune is in Pisces, and I really feel like Neptune in Pisces maximizes that value of just, you know, it's heavy in our dream life, in our subconscious. There's a lot of feels, and you're setting these boundaries, and I think rightfully so. Here's the thing, some of them are working for you and some of them are not. I feel like you're going after your happiness, your abundance, and so you've had to set heavy boundaries with an individual, and I think it was kind of hard for you to do. But this person or situation isn't completely on board with this Two of Wands energy. Maybe they don't like the boundaries that you've set. Maybe they're not really interested in, doing it your way, so to speak. They want to do it their way. And with this Ten of Swords, it's really talking about how they're used to getting their way. They're used to kind of having, it reminds me of a grown-up child, right? The emotional maturity of a child. I'm seeing a little bit of temper tantrum, or like I said, like that baby energy, someone who's used to like having a lot of people say yes to them, or always kind of making their stuff work out, but never really having to do it for others. And like I said, with that Ten of Swords, Two of Wands, they're not really interested, I feel like if you accommodate them, then sure, right? Six of Swords, they want to grow, they want to move forward, they want to be better, but the vibration is just night and day different between you two. There's more hesitancy. There's more like, I don't know if I really want to invest in this with Taurus. I don't know if this is really, my thing. And for you, I feel like you have taken it personally, or it is offensive. And so that's where this Five of Swords energy is coming into play. Five of Swords is like non-negotiable. It's like cut and dry, and that's it. And it can be a really hard energy, obviously, because for both of you, or for you in the situation, it's causing a lot of stress. It's very difficult when we don't see eye to eye, when we're in relationships where there's not reciprocity, when there's not that understanding of different perspectives and how we can best find balance and harmony to move forward. And interestingly enough, in this person's energy with the Two of Wands, it's basically saying they have the capacity to do that, but whether they want to or not is going to be a different story. I feel like they're waiting on things a little bit, waiting to see how things fare, moving down the line. Is it going to be worth it? Right now it's too stressful. Right now they can't see the value, and you're just like, okay, fine, I'm not doing this if it's going to affect like my peace of mind. Because it's going back to that original message of needing more stability and balance. Maybe you were sacrificing a lot for this person. Maybe you were taking on a lot of responsibility. Let's actually see. It was kind of just like getting into toxic behaviors, right? Like it wasn't a relationship or a situation where there was balance. It actually has been pretty unhealthy, and maybe even from the start. Again, not to be Debbie Downer, that's just how I'm hearing it. There was always, the scales were never balanced, right? One person was always, and looks like you, was giving way too much into this relationship. And maybe you haven't seen that completely yet. Maybe you're still in this place with the, stability and direction, as well as the waning crescent. Maybe you're still like kind of uncovering some of this information. But like we see with the sun, it gives us that clarity, and in such a way that it feels really strong and self-assured, where it, not to be a cheeseball, but it is like that aha moment where you're like, oh, that's what it is, right? That's what this is all about. And I would encourage you to reflect on the relationship, the situation, and look at the patterns. How has it played out? What has your role been? What has their role been, etc.? And that's actually going to help bring a lot of clarity. And what I love about this is as soon as you see this awareness, it gives you this inspiration to be like, okay, I'm like moving more towards what I want. Here's the thing. I think what's blocking the clarity, the awareness from coming through is this desire, well, if I keep trying, if I keep working at it, if we approach things a different way, again, you're giving this person, the situation, options, and I don't see them taking it. I see them trying to manipulate the situation. You know, they might be listening, they might be pushing back a little bit for you, Taurus. But at the end of the day, it's a tactic, whether conscious or not. It's a tactic for them to get as much as they can out of you. So be really conscious and mindful. You know, usually I don't love the Five of Swords energy, but I feel like in this situation, it's good to have really strong boundaries. Because if, you know, in some ways this person is like, well, it's going to be fine. It's all going to work out in the end. And so again, I'm not really going to put a lot of work into it. There is this energy of apathy and laziness coming from this individual. And again, what's being blocked right now between you is the clarity, because there's still effort going into this. Again, not good, bad, right, or wrong. Sometimes we have to learn our lessons. Sometimes the only way we can learn is through experience, right? The Ten of Swords is about wisdom gained after struggle, where there is backstabbing, where there is betrayal, where people do really kind of shit all over us or treat us wrong, etc. And I do feel like this person is definitely projecting that type of energy towards you. It might not be this full-blown betrayal, but it is enough to make you feel a certain kind of way. And honestly, there's not a lot of inspiration or drive, ambition to make things work on either of your ends, right? Enough has happened where you're very self-protective at this point, obviously. And again, they're still they haven't learned. It's a adult child, right? So be conscious of that as you continue to walk through. Hopefully this reading will help give you some clarity around what you are already sensing, already feeling with this Queen of Cups energy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, I'm hearing this as really relying on your intuition, trusting those instincts, trusting what you see, sense, and feel, you know, and not putting yourself through so much more difficulty. The Queen of Cups, I hear she's like acknowledging, you know what, this just doesn't work. I know what is the long-term result going to be? And actually, as I'm saying this was a channeled message I was hearing as I was preparing for the video. We have to look at the long term. We have to see the bird's eye perspective. Do we really think this is going to be a good thing to keep around in our life, especially when you're getting so much resistance from this situation individual? You know, especially if they don't really want to work with you. Like, what's the effing point, right? Why do we want to be with people who can't find harmony and balance, who can't validate and honor both parties, both people involved in the situation? And your intuition is telling you all of this. You feel it, you sense it, you know it. But again, you're trying not to, with this Justice card, you're trying not to cut things off too early. You have and you haven't, right? You've set up serious boundaries, but you're still flirting with the idea of the what ifs. What if this can move forward? And the way this is depicted is like you're not paying attention to that more practical, analytical part of like, is this truly what I want, or is this truly honoring my heart? Yeah, okay, so stepping into that Queen of Swords energy, or really finding someone who can give you a very unbiased perspective, someone who is more rational in their approach, right? It's not just about the feelings. Yes, we can love, we can care about a person, about a situation, but if it's not honoring us, it really is like banging our head against the wall the more we try to hammer it out. And I can attest to this 100%. That's kind of how I've built my life, right? Is this value of like, if you can figure out a way. And yeah, sometimes you can, sometimes it works, and sometimes it's okay, right? But a lot of times it just is really spirit saying this thing is not meant for you, or it was only meant for you during a period of time. And that can be very humbling, right? That can be a really difficult pill to swallow. But the way that you are able to connect with the clarity that you need, Spirit's saying really kind of get out of your own element, explore around you, find new people, places, and things, new territory, new things that make you feel happy. Especially with this Four of Wands. Four of Wands is celebration. It's home. It's our family. It's connecting with those people and things that we feel supported by. And Spirit's saying that there is a need for you, Taurus, to really find newness around what feels supportive to you and not being afraid to go after it. That goes back to that fear that I was picking up in the very beginning. Yeah, this is very heavily laden with family, with tradition, with partnerships, with relationships, etc. So, I mean, this can obviously, they are collective readings, but I'm definitely hearing that this is something very close to home, and more than likely why it's hard for you to let go, to detach, or to make a final decision, right? And that justice energy really helps us make that final decision, so we're not continually looped into these karmic cycles that we've already been through. You know, a lot of times we just have to wake up and have this awareness so we don't get ourselves back into something that really doesn't serve us. 100% with this poison card. That's exactly what this is. It's poisonous, it's toxic. We saw that with this Eight of Cups energy. You're sacrificing yourself in a way that really isn't honoring your heart, your mind, your soul. So I would really encourage you to do some reevaluation, take some time to go within. Yeah, exactly. With this Lantern card, it is the proverbial hermit, right? Where we're listening to our own light, what we sense, what we feel. You have all the information that you need with this Queen of Cups. It's just allowing yourself to acknowledge it, right? Like sometimes we know instinctually, but it's hard to just say like, oh yeah, this is what it is. So now what am I going to do about it? And again, that is the practical response. Yes, we can love people, places, and things until we're blue in the face. But unfortunately, you know, our love doesn't necessarily change people. Like they have their own journey. They have their own walk, their own lessons that they need to learn in this lifetime. And so when we remove that sense of control, there is this element of offering. It feels balanced. It feels peaceful. I feel like offering a new solution, offering a new perspective, allowing yourself to say maybe it's enough for both of you. Maybe we've hurt each other enough. Maybe it's time to just let this go so that we can actually just honor each other more, right? Walking away from the anger, the fights, the, you know, tension, the discord, etc. That can be the more honoring choice, right? Versus sticking into it and then just hurting each other that much more. It is a wake-up call because obviously it's not something you thought would happen. I feel like, again, it really just confirms why it is difficult to let go of this thing. Again, it's not shaming you. I feel like this was a part of your learning and growth. It's something that you needed to move through, Taurus. But it's also a reality check for you right now, a reality check around what you choose for yourself, what you think you deserve, and the way you surround yourself with people and situations. It's not fun, right? When we have to kind of take inventory of our environment, of the people around us. But again, it really does help empower us when we humble ourselves to do that, right? And find ways to approach things in a new way that is more heart honoring. With that said, I hope that this helped. I know it was a little bit of a heavy reading, Taurus. I'm so sorry. Please just know I'm sending all the love and blessings for whatever you're navigating towards. Definitely comment below. I would love to support you in any way possible. I hope you're doing well amidst the challenges and chaos. Thank you for the love and support to the channel. I am sending it all back your way.